everybody. I guess you guys remember me, even though it's been a long time since we've done a new video. Well, I've been mowing grass all day, and we just decided to drive to a little lake, a little private conservation lake, and see if we can catch a few fish this evening. We're going to be using one of our new Outlaw poles that's not even on the website, but we're going to do a little comparison. We're going to try minnow fishing, we're going to try some jig fishing, and we're going to introduce you to Mr. Matthew Rogers when he gets here. And we're going to launch here and see if we can find something. But it's not a very big lake, and sometimes it's a pretty good little crappie bite, so we'll just give it a try this evening in the lake and see what we can do. Oh God. Matthew, what do you think be the chances of them being on this brook?
That's what I was checked. Last September they were. That was a few Septembers ago.
I'm actually considering starting up the old Anglers Midwest Guide Service again. And if I do, this is going to be the young man that's going to be doing most of the trips. He's a heck of a fisherman. Besides, if you called and wanted to go with him, you wouldn't have to put up with an old grouchy man like me.
Grouchy's right.
But anyway, this is Matthew, and he can catch fish. I don't even have to teach him anything anymore. He already learned it. But we're going to see what we can find. He's running a hummingbird right now. We're running side imaging, looking to see if we can find some fish and some scattered debris. Because we don't have much time, so we want to make this kind of quick, and hopefully we can find some fish pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's fish out this backside. Laying down towards the bottom.
There it is. Crappie number one.
On a minnow. Well, he's gotten in a few battles. Nope, there it is, right there. We'll watch that fish go. There he goes. And you can still kind of see him streaking down to the bottom.
There he goes.
Right back to the bottom where he come from.
They didn't want a jig today, they wanted a minnow. Now, see how big that fish is in that mouth? He ain't no fisherman, because anybody can catch the ones with the big mouths. You got to be good to catch them with the little mouth. See that? Look at that.
Oh, here we go. You know, I rarely catch them out on this edge for some reason. I think that's just
Even if the wind's in the north?
Well, I don't remember what direction the wind ever was out of when I catch them where.
You need to remember that stuff.
I just catch them.
Because most of the times they'll be facing into the wind. And so on a south wind, the south side of the structure should be the best. You about got stuck.
They're there swimming around. All we gotta do is
He's just not hungry yet.
Well, we'll go find some new fishies.
There's a Matthew Rogers bait right there we're going to try, green and chartreuse. We'll put that down there. These fish are just not wanting to feed. We're finding fish. A lot of times too, you get close to a full moon, and a lot of times those fish will feed. And sometimes it's worse in shallow waters where they'll feed at night in the moonlight. They can silhouette the bait fish up against the sky, and they'll do a lot of feeding. So sometimes right before and during a full moon, it's a tough bite in the daytime. And we knew that, but we wanted to slip away and see what we could do. And we're diehards. We don't give up easy. Well, I don't. Matthew does.
I go fishing every day.
That's a bigger fish there.
Well,
All you gotta do is say when you can catch him and can't catch him, and then you'll catch one. When you say you can't.
Well, I can't catch one.
That's about a pound and a quarter. Beautiful fish. I'll just weigh him just to figure out what he really does weigh. There we go. Fish weighs 1.34. Average size crappie. Average for me to catch, maybe not Mr. Oldham up there. Just a small one.
It's bigger than the last one that I caught. Ain't that a pretty white crappie? Good eating. Now, I'm going to rebait, and I'm going to show you what I like to do sometimes, in hot water especially, and when the bite's a little slow. A little trick that I started using several years ago. Some days it don't work no matter what you do, but I call it dead sticking my minnow, but he's really not dead yet. But I run the hook in the mouth and then come down past his gill and back out. Now what that does is he still will live for quite a while, but he's laying on his side and he'll kind of flutter like a dying shad when you drop him in the water. It kind of flutters, and sometimes they can't resist that. So I like to give it a try, and that's what I caught that last one doing.
Swimming in and out of this. Looks like a lot of bait on it. This is always a tough time to catch a fish. Jig would be better, I think, right now. Maybe
Why? Mr. Crappie! Orange head with dead stick in the minnow. Sometimes when the bite's tough, that's my go-to style. Now, I would rather be catching them on jigs, but some days the jigs just don't work. And usually you can tell if you drop a jig down in there and you get several just bumps like they're just pushing it out of the way. You want to do a couple of different things. Either change your color of your jig, you may have to change your weight, or sometimes you got to revert to the old live bait.
It'd be 30 minutes after the sunset. Rarely do I get bit crappie fishing, except for in the spring. It's just the light going into the water. Their eyes, I don't think, adjust quick enough to it. And there's a time period where they're just in a lull.
Kind of like you're fishing right now in a lull?
Yeah, my fishing's in a lull right now. I'm just a little behind, but I'm getting ready to catch one of them fish.
Oh, I'm gonna get him.
I felt you coming up with him.
There ain't nothing to this crappie fishing. You got to be in the right place, the right time, and know how to catch them. Now, we talked about earlier that this water for this little lake is clear, isn't it, Matthew?
Yes.
Right now. I went to monofilament, and I really, over the years, the clearer and calmer the water, the better luck I have switching from monofilament or to monofilament instead of my braid. And I use the high vis. I don't think the visibility of it makes any difference, but there's just something about the action. It seems like I get more bites on my monofilament in a clear, calm conditions than I will, say, if you fish a lake like Truman or some of the lakes in Oklahoma have a lot of stained water, then I rarely even pick up with monofilament. And the main reason for that is because with your braided lines, you've got a lot more sensitivity. I mean, literally on some of these Outlaw poles, especially these new ones, that you put a minnow on there and even hook it like I did where he's almost dead, and if he twitches, you feel it. And that helps you not only to catch more fish, but it also helps you not to get hung up so much and lose so many jigs. The more you feel, the more you realize, it's not a fish or it is a fish. So that's one thing that I do like about braid. But when it's clear like this, I catch more of these little suckers when I'm running bait on a monofilament line. Thank you, little fella. Go ahead and catch one now, Matthew.
I'm trying. So my beating a little hard.